Namaste, children. In today's English class, we shall learn the next poem in your main reader. Before that, I would like to know your response for few questions. Children, have you ever lost something you liked it very much? Can you recollect your reaction? Were you really upset? Or could you overcome the situation? Here is one such poem titled The Ball, which deals with the loss of life. Even the title itself is quite familiar. The ball. It's a tool of happiness for every children and also the stage of childhood. I hope through this poem we are going to get back to our childhood and cherish our childhood memories. Let us begin with the introduction of the poet. John Berryman was an American poet and scholar. He was born on 25th October 1914 in McAllister in the United States of America. He was educated at Columbia University. He was a major figure in American poetry in the second half of 20th century and was considered a key figure in the confessional school of poetry. His best known works is the Dream Songs. He died on 7th January 1972. Now moving into the poem, there are 5 stanzas. We shall come in with a stanza-wise explanation. Take a book, children, and get ready. What is a boy now who has lost his ball? What? What is he to do? I saw it go merrily bouncing down the street and then merrily over. There it is in the water. The poet Berryman sees a boy playing with the ball. Then the boy loses his ball. The poet asks, what should the boy be feeling now? He asks, what will the boy do now? He saw the ball bouncing merrily and going down the street, and now in the same way it has fallen into the water and lost forever. Going with stanza 2. No use to say, oh, there are other balls. An ultimate shaking grief fixes the boy as he stands rigid, trembling, staring down all his young days into the harbor where his ball went. The meaning of trembling is nothing but shivering. Children, do underline and write. Going with the explanation of stanza 2, there is no use of consoling the boy. The poet really felt it. He can't be consoled if he is offered other balls in place of his lost ball. Finally, a deep grief overpowers the boy. So he stands shaking there without leaving the place. Standing there, he stares down the place where the ball has disappeared in the water of the harbor. The loss of the ball in the harbor reminds him of his childhood and the childhood days which have been lost in the harbor of life. Going with stanza 3. I would not intrude on him. A dime under the ball is worthless. Now he senses first responsibility in a world of possessions. Moving with the explanation of stanza 3, the poet doesn't want to console the boy. He will not even tell the boy that the ball he has lost cost almost nothing. He will not console him by saying that he can buy another ball quite easily. Now, good sense prevails over the boy. He knows that in this world, people are always running after acquiring and owning things. He realizes what is his first responsibility in such a world. Going with stanza 4. People will take balls. Balls will be lost always, little boy. And no one buys a ball back. Money is external. Buying and losing continues throughout our life. People will always buy such balls, and the balls they buy will continue to be lost. Once a ball has been lost, it is lost ball again. But money is totally external to our inner feelings. Money cannot compensate our emotional losses. Similarly, the childhood that we have lost forever cannot be bought back with the money. Going with stanza 5. He is learning well behind his desperate eyes. The epistemology of loss, how to stand up, knowing what every man must one day know, and most know many days how to stand up. The meaning of desperate is nothing but hopeless. Quickly do underline and write, children. The epistemology of loss is nothing but understanding the nature of loss. The boy, with his hopeless eyes, is beginning to learn the nature of loss. He is learning what it means to lose something. He has to learn how to overcome the loss and stand up again in his own life. He has to learn this basic principle of life which every man of the world has to learn. He must learn how to bear the pangs of the separation and the loss of his childhood. He has to move ahead in life forgetting the loss of his childhood. This is how the strong message that the poet Berryman wanted to convey to every reader. What is the message that we derive out of this poem? The true theme of the poem is that we should cherish every moment of our life. As we know very well, life is very, very short. The poet realizes that it is very difficult to deal with the loss, but it must be done. We should move on as there is no use in wasting our precious time and life. Moving with the poetic devices, children, we have few poetic devices like repetition, alliteration, and anaphora. Going with repetition, you know what is repetition? A word is repeated. We have two words repeated in this poem. One is what, other one is ball. Anaphora is the next poetic device, which is nothing but the use of repeated words in two lines. Here we have two continuous lines with the same context. What is the boy, what, and what is he to do? Finally, the last figure of speech in the poem is alliteration. You know what is alliteration, children? The use of a same sound. Here, this use of the sound B is repeated. Buys a ball back. There is no specific rhyme scheme. It's a free verse poem. Yes, coming into the last context of the poem. As we know very well, our life can be lived fruitfully only when we stand up and come out of our depression. So let us cherish every moment of our life and live up to it. Thank you, children.